Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Solopreneur Success Systems podcast. Today, I'm going to be talking to you all about ideal clients, and I'm going to talk to you about better ways to write your copy for them. If you do end up doing ideal client interviews, here's what I recommend, and we'll get into actually applying it for your marketing this week. However, you might be hearing my voice right now and say, "Hey, Megs, you sound terrible. Why do you not have a voice?" And it is because I actually got married this weekend. I got married on Saturday, and it was the greatest weekend of my entire life. I know people say it's the best day ever, and I went into it with low expectations. I don't know if that is like why it was so phenomenal, but it was truly like the greatest weekend of my entire life. Were able to, on Friday, Rob's family was able to host this incredible welcome party where and actually before that, we had this amazing rehearsal. I got ready with my two best friends at this beautiful hotel called the Umstead, and we got this huge suite there so we could get ready. And I literally like ran around like a child. I need to get the video from Anna because I literally like ran around like a crazy person around this hotel room. Like, oh my God, this is amazing. It was a full Princess Diaries moment, if you guys can imagine it. And then we got to go to this beautiful rehearsal. I got married at the Angus Barn Pavilion. Feel free to Google it. We were just like, truly, it was just such a magical experience. Then we had dinner at this incredible restaurant. It's a chain, you might have heard of it, called Seasons 52. And they had this whole room that was separated all for us. Beautiful, like wine bottles on the walls. We got a sign that everybody signed and got to write like this cute little note. We had all these like little kids running around. It was just like, it was magical. And then we went in and we went after we ended up getting to the rehearsal dinner. We had this like beautiful time. And then we went and got the this welcome party at the City of Raleigh Museum, which, if you don't know, it's on Fayetteville Street. It's the oldest high rise in Raleigh, original floors, original windows, and it was incredible. I mean, there was a skylight that was just this huge feature. It was amazing. And I am exhausted, but oh, and then for the actual wedding, so then me and my two co-maids of honor, Sammy and Anna, we all stayed at the Umstead the night before, and we literally like I held their hands and just cried because I was just so grateful and happy. And we watched Sweet Home Alabama, and we're just like living the dream. Like literally had a sleepover with my best friends the night before, and then the next morning everyone came in. We all had matching PJs. I got these black PJs for everyone else. I had white ones. My little brother's fiance Lauren came, and I like the second that she saw me in this like very grand hotel, we like ran and were like squealing like children, and people were very confused. But like it was just the greatest day ever. And then we did our first looks there. So I did a first look with my dad, my brother, then Rob. Then we went over to the Angus barn, and Rob and I got like this special ride, just the two of us. So we got to be together. It was just like incredible. And then we got married. If you again look up I'll maybe like post some pictures. I need to for sure post some pictures. I'm gonna post like a bajillion pictures, so just get ready for it. But we got married on the water at the Angus Barn Pavilion, and like it was during sunset, so we got sunglasses for everyone that had the Roman numerals of like 10, 25, 25 on the side of it. And then it said the Lowe's, because technically I'm not changing my last name for my business, but I am like officially changing my name to Megan Lowe soon, eventually. But just so exciting. And then we for the ceremony, we were able to get a string quartet that was just incredible. And I again, I'm just like getting into all these details because it was just so much fun. And I feel like you guys as ideal clients would just like want to hear about this. And I just want to share about it because I'm still on like cloud nine from it. And also I'm very hoarse. But then we had this incredible string quartet, and I, despite my voice, used to sing classically. I got singing lessons for like 5 years. And we literally, my mom's side of the family, they all sang. It's like the Von Trapp family of New Jersey. And our family song is Schubert's Ave Maria. So all the moms and the family got to walk down to that. And don't judge me, I love the Twilight movies. So then my friends and the groomsmen all walked down to A Thousand Years, which is from Twilight, and it was just like beautiful. And then another family song, because we're weird about music, evidently, and this is like our thing. But I Was Born to the Pachelbel Canon in D, if you guys know that song. And my parents got married to it, so that was a song I walked down the aisle to. And it was just like majestic. Like we had this beautiful arbor and it was so incredible. Oh my gosh. And as we were getting ready, my niece, my now niece, she was like so cute. And she was like, everyone, I've got an idea. While we wait, she's 9. And she was like, everyone, let's go around and say our favorite thing about Megan. And like was just like the sweetest thing ever. And our photographer, oh my God, you guys, wait until you see the pictures. Our photographer was amazing. Cristobal, he runs Azul Photography. Look him up. He's phenomenal. He was actually a photojournalist and he was on the field when the Panthers did the Super Bowl a few years ago, one of 3 photographers. Like, and now he does like these incredible artistic photos. If you saw any of our engagement pictures, like he did them as well. And they're just like so artistic and awesome. And so he did those. And he came in and said like the nicest speech ever, and it was just like incredible. And then we got to walk out to Your Song by Elton John, which is just like amazing. We did it was just like it was so magical. Like the whole ceremony was just perfect. Seeing like everybody up there and like the girls had like these beautiful emerald dresses. There was just like flowers everywhere. The guys were looking so spiffy in their tuxes. Like my grandfather was able to be there, and like we had a nurse with him, and it was just like it was incredible. It was just so magical. And then we had the reception and for dinner. So at the Angus Barn, it's like Peyton Manning's favorite steakhouse. I promise I will actually get into content in a minute, but I have to gush on about this wedding. It was amazing. So everyone got 2 proteins. They got a filet and they got chicken beurre blanc, and it was amazing. We had like 7 past apps and they were amazing. The cheese and crackers there are also just fantastic. And then we got to do our first dances. My dad gave this incredible speech. I got to say something, then Rob got to say something, or he did the prayer. And then my best friend Sammy did her maid of honor speech, which of course put me into tears. And then Rob's best man gave this incredible speech as well. And then we just danced the night away. Like, I don't think I left the dance floor all night. Oh, I changed outfits. So I had this like beautiful, like white, I felt like a princess, but I'm not like that kind of a girl. But I was like, when else am I gonna be able to wear something like this? And it was just this gorgeous dress. And it was really cool because my grandmother had pointed sleeves for her wedding. So I made them like do pointed sleeves for mine. And then my other grandmother, when she got married, it was the same fabric as my dress. So it was just like a nod to everybody. It was just like incredible. And then oh my gosh, my now mother-in-law, second mom, Trish, she gave me the same ring that was her 15-year wedding anniversary ring, and it was my borrowed in blue. And it had her it was like blue stones, and it was something that Whitney, my new sister-in-law, also wore. And it was amazing. And we had a baby in a tuxedo as our her fourth son or fourth child son Wells was able to be our ring bearer, and he was in a tiny tuxedo, and we had a like little flower girl. I mean, it was just like top to bottom, just like incredible. And we danced the night away. DJ Drew did a fantastic job. The entire Angus barn looks like a forest, which is exactly what I wanted. And I was like, we were like, is this Leah? I was like, it's like it's flowers. I'm like, how big of a difference could it make? You guys, it was it was incredible. And so I just had to gush on for like 15 minutes all about the wedding, and it was just amazing. And like literally like Rob and I got back to the Umstead as like a mini moon because we're not doing a honeymoon until the end of the year. We actually still don't know where we're going, so feel free to send any all-inclusives in the Caribbean. If you know of any that are good, send it to us and we'll go from December 26th to January 4th. but we did like a mini moon at the Umstead, and we were talking until 2:30 in the morning, just like about how amazing the day was. Oh, and we left in a Rolls Royce, like a really old one, like from the like either the 50s or 60s that was completely refurbished. It was just like incredible. And I changed outfits. I changed outfits for the dancing. I changed into this beautiful long sleeve, like beaded dress, and it was just like it was just awesome. It was just awesome. So thank you for letting me go on a tangent about my wedding. It was truly the greatest day of my life. And up until this point, like I mean, like the whole weekend was just incredible. And then literally the next day we went to Level 7. It's in North Hills, which is this like area in Raleigh where a lot of people were staying. And we went to the Level 7 rooftop bar for brunch. And I literally just like couldn't stop crying like the entire time. I was just so grateful and happy. I just and I'm exhausted and I have no voice, but I'm like, this was epic. And I just wanted to share with you, people of the podcast, if you were curious about the wedding, it was the greatest day ever. And I am so grateful for all the people who are sending congratulations. I swear, I think I have so many messages right now. I think I have like, because I only put it in my story. I haven't even posted about it, but I think I have like at least 70 messages in both Facebook and Instagram, and not including like 50 different text messages. So patience with me as I respond, but I just love you guys. And I'm so grateful thank you for celebrating me too. It's like, it's just been really wonderful. And yeah, so it's been good. And I'm going to do a podcast next week all about like how I've been able to balance all of this. It has been a journey for the rest of the year. So I'll definitely do a whole podcast about that. But I just want to share about that. And now I promise I'm actually going to get into content about your ideal clients. So within your business, we're totally pivoting, and now we're just going to talk about content. So, one of the things that I have found, especially doing ads, is that you have to be more specific about who you're talking to in your content in order to get people to really recognize it as for them. So, I think what's worked before and what I've been doing in the past is I know that social media is just billboard marketing. So, I'm just like posting whatever, like it doesn't need to be super specific. It's kind of general and good, but like it's a billboard. It's not designed to get people to like, it's not to get people to comment. It's more so about like, hey, here's what I do, just showing as a reminder, hey, I'm helpful, I'm good, you want to work with me. And then getting people to message me is more so my outreach on the back end of things. And that's how I create conversations. And again, like you'll look at my posts. I showed a client today. I was like, I have maybe 2 likes on a post. So it's not like it's one of the things that you want to keep in mind is a vanity metric to get the comments from there, but you do want to be able to actually create content that converts. And one of the things I've noticed this year is that it's being more specific is really, really important. So I know I did a little pause for the past. So it's like I did a podcast 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago that was all about the micro moment marketing. And I found that that's really helpful. And then episode 82 was all about editing content fast to make it convert by talking about like better hooks. And then I took a quick pause where I had Amy and Emily come on last week. And now I want to talk to you about how to use ideal client types to get more consults. So one of the things that I found is that and this actually goes for all of my clients, that I have this like whole spreadsheet for scaling systems because I don't talk about marketing, or I don't talk about launching in marketing systems. That's like the low ticket offer designed to get people from 10 to or 0 to 10K. That's 1,500 for the year. But scaling systems, which is my mastermind, I help people go from 10 to 100K, and that 100K plus. And in that program, that's where I talk about launching. And one of the things that I've realized with launching is you have to have a specific person type, and then you also have to have a specific time when they're struggling. So when I first started my business, I joined a program, and they had me think about my ideal client, and they had me go so in depth, and it was helpful, but it was like, and you guys might have heard of this before, like you need to know your what's called an ICA, ideal client avatar, which I think is helpful when you think about it in a broader way, when you think about it as a person type, not just getting in super specific and granular. So, what I have found when I think about my person types, people who are a good fit for my offers, is people who are full-time employees that want to be full-time in their business. I have people who are stay-at-home parents that want to start up their business. I have people who are full-time currently and are under earning. I have people who are making a consistent living, but they've plateaued. And then I typically have people who hate social media. So those are typically like the five person types. But the way that people use, I like the idea of thinking about like a person type versus a ideal client avatar, because people will talk about ideal client avatars and I actually disagree with like the way that it's kind of positioned, because they talk about it in a way that's so intense that it takes you out of even focusing on what you're even talking about for the week. For instance, I have people that are like, okay, well, my ideal client avatar, her name is Brenda, and she gets a Starbucks every morning, and she has two children, and she's 35, and she like too in depth. It has nothing to do with your offer, it has nothing to do with your marketing, and I don't think it helps you very much, honestly, if I'm being real about it. I think that and this is what I found, and I did all this research, and I even did what's called an ideal client interview, and I actually brought people in, and I was like, tell me about like, what is like, if you were to have an ideal program, what would you want from it? And it's just like, it was too much. Okay. So, what I want you to do instead is I want you to think about five ideal person types for you and your offer. And I'm actually having the people in both marketing systems and scaling systems, my two programs, I'm having them do this too. And I just want it to be broad. I don't want it to be an ICA. I don't want it to be an ideal client avatar, which is again the acronym for ICA. I want it to just be a person type. Who are five people that would be a good fit for your offer? Notice how I'm not talking about Brenda, the 35-year-old. I'm literally just saying, hey, here are five people who would be a really good fit for this. And then what I do is I think about scenarios that would be a struggle moment for them. Okay. So for my people, when I'm thinking about like the moment when they're like, ooh, this is a moment that I need help, is and I think about it like for the five people types, I think about like an everyday moment for each of them. And then I'm going to talk to you about like an even clearer way to do it. So for the people who are like they're on social media, they're consistent, but they're not booking clients and they like hate social media. They don't know, they look back on the month, they like, let's say it's November 1st, they look back on October and they're like, if I posted every day, how did I not get a consult? So do you see how I'm speaking to a specific moment when it's the day after and they're literally looking back on the year? That's a painful point that I want to speak to in my marketing. And my marketing has gotten a lot stronger. Feel free to like look at my posts because you'll be able to see more of this. The other people that I see is the people who are inconsistent on social media. Those are the people that are typically they plateaued. They are overthinking. They vanish. They maybe haven't shown up for a couple months and they open up IG and panic because they haven't posted in 2 months and they don't know what to say. The other people who are like the startups that have not really had a business at all before, they don't know where to begin. So they're like, I know I should post. They've got a bunch of different, they have Canva open, they've got a caption that's half done, and they've been thinking about starting posting for weeks or months, but they really haven't started up their business and they don't know how to start. The other thing that I see for the people who are full-time people is like they are posting, but no one engages. So they're like, what am I doing wrong? Like they refresh Instagram for the 10th time and their newest post is still at one like and one comment, and it's from another coach. And then the plateaued income people, they're looking back at their 2025 income and they're like, how did I stay the same? So I want you to think about those struggle points. And I think that's a more helpful way for you to think about your person types, and then in their marketing. Now, if you want to do something like an ideal client avatar interview or something like that, here's what I tell my clients is I say instead of asking them like, what does an ideal morning look like for you? And it's like, if you could have anything from this program, what would it be? People don't know what they want. I will tell you that. They don't know what a better thing could even be because they're so fixated on like what is bad now. They genuinely like don't even know what the alternative could be. So for you, that's where you have to step in and be like, hey, what we're going to do here is I'm going to tell you about how to get um, like what are the points? And I don't talk about pain points ever. You guys know this with my marketing, unless I talk about something that they're striving for. So I think about like what are they struggling with? They can identify that very easily. That's what the human brain is designed to problem seek, not problem solve. And that's what you want to ask people questions about. It's like, and I would ask them whatever, if you're doing an ideal client avatar interview, or if you even just want to break down these 5 person types into the struggle points even more, a way that you could do that is I want you to think about specifically right now as I record this podcast, it's October 28th and we are at the end of the year. People are about to have more stuff on their plates than ever. Kids might be home from school. It's Q4. Things are hectic and crazy. I want you to think about what are the worst, hecticest, craziest points in their life and how do you help them with that? And the 3 times a day I want you to think about are morning, midday, evening. What are the 3 main problems that they're experiencing in those types? So if you do the 5 people type, you can do these morning, midday, evening for all 3 of them. That gives you 15 different kind of like ideal scenarios. And I want you to think about what is the hardest time for them right now. Is it that you look at the calendar and you panic because you realize that Thanksgiving is next week and you still haven't finished that work project? That's what you want to speak to. If you are thinking about, oh my God, we haven't, if you're like say a weight loss coach and your person is let's say a mother going through perimenopause and just gained a bunch of weight, you're thinking instead of just like coming up with we don't know that that person's name is Charlotte and um, she has as a mother of 4. We don't need to know that. But you do want to be like, hey, our Christmas photos coming up and you're panicking because you don't look like you did even a year ago. That's because the perimenopausal weight that you put on is something that you can actually fix within the next couple of months if you take these things into account. And then you talk about that. But that's the things like the freaking out about Christmas photos, the fear about the holiday party, if you're a career coach, you're like, if you're sitting back looking at your year and you're like, how do I have the same career that I've hate for the past 15 years? It's time for a change. That's how you want to be able to do your marketing. So, thank you for listening to my rant page about my wedding. I hope that helps you to think about ideal clients in a different way, in person types, thinking about scenarios. And then if you are going to do those interviews or if you do want to create stronger marketing, morning, midday, and evening marketing is scenarios are going to be so helpful for you. And of course, I'll include a worksheet with you so that you can do this kind of work to figure out how to write your content a little bit stronger. And that worksheet will be in the show notes. And I will be seeing you guys in the next podcast next week. And we'll be talking about how to plan things, just like I did this year in the craziness of the wedding.